Hello, Dr. Ryan Alcantara here, Career Services Manager with USC Rossier School of Education. A reminder that we have our K-12 Career Fair coming up on Friday, February 23rd. If you've not signed up yet, please do so now. You can do so by hitting the QR code and registering. Um, I am doing a series of workshops for our Master of Arts in Teaching students, getting them ready for both the career fair as well as the job search. And so for this workshop, we'll be covering cover letters. And so I want to walk through the ins and outs of the cover letters as you're getting your applications ready, providing tips and reminding you I'm always available. We have staff available to assist you both at Rossier Career Services as well as the Career Center. So what is a cover letter and what is it not? So a cover letter is a teaser for your resume. It demonstrates a match between you and the position. So in many ways, it kind of is the nice bridge between the resume and the specific position you are applying to. You highlight specific skills that make you an exceptional candidate for the position according to the job description. So it is very much customized to the position you're applying for. You mention by name the position and the school that you're applying to. A cover letter is not a reiteration of your resume. It is not a copy of the job description, and it is not a life story. So you have to be judicious about what you include. Generally, you're looking at a page, no more than 2 pages for your cover letter, and I'll walk through the different components of that letter. So you will start with standard letter format. So what does that mean? It has your information, your contact information in the header. Now, if you have a cool letterhead that incorporates that information, you don't need to restate it. You can use that letterhead. Then you list the date, and then the name, hiring manager, title, company or organization address, all of those details. So addressing who the letter is to, and if it were to be mailed, what information would be included. So avoid the to whom it may concern or dear sir or madam. Try to find out who the hiring manager is. If you don't, the head of HR or the principal of a school, are certainly appropriate folks that you can list specifically on your letter. So that's what the kind of the top part of your letter would look like. Your first paragraph, you want to tell why you are writing. Specifically list the name of your position, the name of the position that you're applying for, as well as the school that you're applying to. What interests you most about the position? If you found out about the position from somebody, if you went to the career fair and you met the rep, you want to reference that here in the first paragraph. If you've talked to an alum and they encouraged you to apply, or you've spoken to another teacher, you want to include that information in the first paragraph is where to include that. Tell why you want to work for this company or organization. So conduct thorough research about the organization or the school and find out what's unique to them and what sets them apart from other schools that makes it of interest to you. And so connect that. So an emphasis in DEI, the great work they're doing in their science department, identifying that is helpful. So you'll generally have that in your first paragraph. If you've got maybe little bit more to say in that last point, it might be appropriate to put that in a second paragraph. But that's your introduction. It sets the tone for what you're doing in applying for this position, why this position and this school interests you. And then you get into referencing your background. So what you want to do in the middle paragraphs is reference the job description and describe your relevant professional educational qualifications without restating everything from your resume. So you'll want to be selective. So as a first As a new teacher, you may be drawing heavily from the student teacher role that you've had this past year. And so um, uh, that's appropriate. And so connecting that experience to why you're excited about applying for this position. Um, so I really encourage you cite one or two experiences that specifically qualify you for the position. So those are, stories you want to tell about yourself. Emphasize particular skills, expertise, and training that is sought by the employer and creates a clear match. So that's really important. Going to like career fairs, talking to them, getting some insights, in addition to doing the research on the website. But if you hear things at the career fair, jot some notes down. And those are things that you can talk about in your cover letter. Stress why you're a unique, special, and perfect person for the position. So I do really encourage you. Many of us in education might be a little humble, and so you want to put your humble hat aside and really talk about, why you are the perfect person for this position. And if you need assistance, kind of talking through that and translating that into your writing, please reach out. We're happy to help. So if you claim to have a certain skill, back it up with examples. So this is, again, where you add a little bit more life to things that you list in your resume. So you might have a bullet point in your resume, and you may spend the better part of a paragraph kind of talking about that in more detail in your cover letter. And then finally, tell about a professional or personal accomplishment or skill that you've demonstrated. So again, all of that provides some additional insight on you as a candidate. So that may be one or two paragraphs in the middle of your letter. And then finally, in your concluding paragraph, note that you can note that you've included a copy of your resume and other required documents. Reiterate your interests. So, we all have maybe some standard language that we use here and just insert the position name and school, but you want to reiterate, why you're interested in that position. State your appreciation for the employer's consideration, include your desire for follow-up, should that be acceptable, and you can include the best way to contact you. Now, if you're running out of space, you probably don't have to restate contact information if that's listed in the header. But this just gives you a little bit of a sense of what that final paragraph ought to include. And like I said, you'll craft that into what makes the most sense for you. So, you will be customizing a cover letter for each job you're applying to, and it's really, really important to proofread, especially because even though you're customizing the letter, you're often using another letter as the general format. And so you may find, you've got a 5th grade cover letter that you're going to go to versus maybe one that's 8th grade that talks about different examples. But you have to make sure you update the position information, the school information, any of those very specific references that you're making about the school to the cover letter. So that's where multiple proofreads is really critical. As I said, keep it to 1 page, but no more than 2 pages. Font and margin should be reasonable. Don't make an old person like me. Don't remind me that I'm losing my vision slowly. So a 12-point Times Roman works. Sometimes what happens is you're trying to squeeze things onto 1 page. So you go with really small font and really small margins. At a point, don't drop below 10 for sure. So go on to that 2nd page if it means maintaining a reasonable font size. I encourage you, ask a classmate counselor to give you feedback. As an MAT student, you've got lots of classmates that are doing the same thing. So, maybe as you would create study groups, create cover letter groups, kind of share strategies, and it's really helpful to have an outside pair of eyes looking at your cover letter, just again to catch some of those details. Reference the job description, making sure you're tying this to the job description and the school's website. Like, we have access to that. Make sure you do a little bit of research. You're going to have to do more research if you get an interview, but a little bit of research so you can have that flavor of the organization and the school, represented in your letter. And then find the fit and be yourself. I mean, so you want to be authentic. If you're saying, I love the language you have around DEI, and that's important to me, it should be important to you. So hopefully that goes without saying. But you want to obviously kind of emphasize those points that are most relevant. We do have additional resources, resume resources, as well as cover letters. There's a booklet that the USC Career Center puts together, and it kind of covers both of those. We've got resume information and cover letter information available at the USC Russier Career Services. If you want more on resumes, there's a resume video as well. You can attend drop-in advising and the VMOC system that's to help with your resume writing. But hopefully you found this helpful as you get ready for your job search as well as the career fair. That's again on Friday, February 23rd. We look forward to seeing you at the career fair. And again, don't hesitate reaching out if you've got questions or you'd like to talk more about your specific cover letter. If you're struggling, we're here to support you through that process. So until next time, until the career fair, fight on, and look forward to hearing your successes in the job search.